in Ireland, offering device as a service with flexible terms to suit your business. Visit Bekla.ie. That's BECHTLE. Bekla.
The Harvey Norman Big Sale continues with half-price photo prints on all sizes. For a limited time at the Harvey Norman Photo Centre, you can print your favourite photos starting from only 10 cent. That's right, 10 cent. Save up to 50% off on all your photo prints in store. Or you can download our easy-to-use Photo Centre app to print your photos from home. For our biggest savings this summer, shop the Harvey Norman Big Sale in-store and online. Don't miss out.
Offer ends 19th of June. Minimum transaction value of €2.50 applies.
You've got a lovely, smooth pint of Guinness in front of you. You're surrounded by the best group of people. You found the last table in the beer garden. But the sun's just gone behind a cloud. But hey, any second now. It's a lovely day for a Guinness.
Jolly good company.
Get the facts. Be drink aware. Visit drinkaware.ie.
Taste of Dublin, inspired by Neff, returns to Dublin's beautiful Ivy Gardens this weekend. Experience Ireland's best chefs, hottest restaurants, finest artisan producers and incredible live entertainment. Taste of Dublin, where food lovers feast, on this weekend. Tickets at tasteofdublin.ie. Booking fees apply.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. All the football you love in one place. Across Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
It is 7:30 on a Thursday, which means it's time to talk to John Giles. Evening, John.
Evening, Nathan.
Things looking slightly rosier for Irish football than they were this time last week.
Oh, in a big way.
Not that we're ones for overreacting.
Yeah, Scotland was very good. Good comeback from there, and then a good performance in the Ukraine. So it was definitely a big improvement.
What do you put the improvement down to?
Well, I think they would have got a bit of a telling off, and knew that lads would have known as well, Nathan themselves, that they hadn't done their stuff, you know. But I think a big change was for the Scottish match. I mean, we were really good against Scotland, a great win. I think having Parrott and Obafemi, my pronouncing his name,
Obafemi, yeah.
Obafemi. I think they're the best two strikers we have, partnership, Nathan. I would stick with that in relation to we had Robinson there and Ogbeni. Didn't work. Definitely didn't work. But Parrott and Obafemi was good. Obafemi particularly, because they needed a good result and a good display against Scotland.
Yeah. And
I think he was a star man. I mean, his pass for Parrott was brilliant.
How difficult a pass was that, John?
How difficult? Well, when you see players like that doing what they did, Obafemi, yeah. It doesn't. It's not difficult for him, Nathan, because he's able to do it and he can see it. I mean, it's obviously the vision is the first part. You have to be able to see the pass and then deliver it. So obviously he saw the pass and he could deliver it, and he's well able to do it. He's a good player. I know he's had a lot of injuries, which is a shame for us, really. But Parrott made a good run, finished it off well. It was a really first-class goal, and as we saw with his second goal, it was a cracker. You know, but we haven't had forwards scoring goals like that. We haven't had them scoring goals really in recent times. But I'd say if we can keep the two of them fit, I'd say that they're by far our best bet up front.
They've taken a while to develop, understandably, and maybe everybody got too excited when Troy Parrott came on the scene and Michael Obafemi made his debut 4 years ago. We seem to expect instant success and to be able to play at international level instantly. Parrott's development and where he is now compared to where he was 2 or 3 years ago in terms of his movement, his link-up play and even that pass for Obafemi and then following through with the run for the header. What did you make of his performances over the two games?
I think he's been good. I think he's improved a lot, Nathan. I think his attitude has improved. I was a bit wary of him early on. I'm not so sure when he was at Spurs. I think he probably needed to get away from Spurs, really to get on his own and get his career rolling along. And I didn't see that 2 or 3 years ago. But he looks a different player now. He looks like his attitude is good. He wants to do it. He seems to be hungry. and you've got to have that. That's your starting point.
Yes.
But that's what he's done.
Something seems to have clicked with him all right, because there was a press conference he gave a few months ago where he touched on having a bit more maturity and realising that you get one opportunity as a footballer, and if you have a few bad months you can find yourself dropping down the ranks pretty quickly, and thank God he's had that awakening now while he's still young enough to be able to change things. Yeah,
well, that was needed, because he was at Spurs, I think, from the time he was a young fella, and he wasn't getting a lot of games. There was a lot of competition there, and players, young players can lose heart in that situation as well. But for whatever reason, his attitude wasn't as good as it should be, and he's learned now. I think he can become a real player, and if the other lads, Obafemi, keeps away from the injuries. He's got a lot of injuries, as we know, but he's a very, very talented lad, and I think the partnership there is good, the best we have, if we can keep them going, Nathan.
Michael Obafemi had never started an international game before Saturday, and Callum Robinson and Chidozie Ogbene had been two of the better players for the previous matches for Stephen Kenny. So it's easy to say in hindsight maybe that Obafemi should have started in Armenia or in the home game against Ukraine. But should he have? Should Stephen Kenny have seen something in training, do you think, that actually he should have gone with Parrott and Obafemi in those first couple of matches?
It's hard to know. It's hard to know, Nathan. I think the more you play, obviously, as a manager, the more you're going to learn. My opinion is that if they're both fit, I would definitely play them. I think Callum Robinson is a good player. He's not a grafter, Nathan. The way he plays, I'd want him scoring 1 or 2 goals in every match to justify his position, to be quite honest.
Right.
Ogbene, I think he was playing out of position for the previous match anyway. But he's a game lad. But certainly, now Stephen has seen a good few games now, and I'm only giving you my opinion now. If I was picking the team next time, I definitely would have, if both of them were fit, Parrott and Obafemi up front. Definitely, the two of them.
What about the midfield? Jeff Hendrick always takes a lot of criticism for his performances. Drops out of the side for the last 2 games. Jason Malumbi came in alongside Josh Cullen. Jason Knight played in a slightly deeper role as part of a midfield 3. How significant was that he got Knight and Malumbi in there alongside Cullen? Well, they've played well, Nathan. You had Brown in the team as well. I think he's done a really good job on the right-hand side there, Cullen. Malumbi, as you say, Knight. I think Knight is the most skillful of them when he's in that position. So, there are things we're all finding out, and I'm sure Stephen is as well. And the more games you play now, we got rid of the 2 horrible games. As once we got to Scotland, we were good. We were back playing again, and the Ukraine was good professional performance as well. So, I think it's at the position now with Stephen that we played quite a lot of games now, Nathan. And I think with Parrott coming in and Obafemi coming in, I think you've got to play that team. And young Collins has obviously come into the team. The team now, I think Stephen should know his best team now. And I think you play them now as often as you possibly can. I don't want to say an experience, because a lot of these players now are getting up on sort of 15, 20 caps, but they are very young and haven't played a huge amount at club level. Is inconsistency always going to be a problem with those sort of players?
Well, I don't think so, Nathan. You get a lot of consistency with older players and established players at times. I know, but these lads are only coming into it now. And I don't see why not. If you can do it against Scotland and you can play well against Ukraine, then you can do it. They're international matches, they're international teams. Scotland are way, way above us, I think, in the ratings, and we beat them well. So there's no reason why you can't be optimistic about it. I'm talking about now from Stephen's point as a manager, that you see certain things and say, right, and it takes a good while, especially at international level, to really, really get to know what is your best team, Nathan. And I think Stephen is at that stage now. I think he's played enough matches. I think he's seen enough of the players up front now, the best pairing we have, the midfield players. And then it's a question of going and playing to your best ability after that.
Everyone's very excited about Nathan Collins and his potential after, well, not just the goal and the quality of the goal, but also his performances over the 4 matches. How good do you think he is now, and how good do you think he could become?
I'm very, very impressed with him, Nathan. He's the best young player I've seen for a long time.
Right.
And first of all, having the temperament to go in and do it. And he was a leader in the matches that I've seen him play in, where we've all seen him play in. And I would say he's one of the best we've had for a long time of the young players coming along. He looks a real player, and he did a terrific job. I mean, he scored a goal, and that's a bonus. I mean, obviously scoring the goal, but the way he took the goal, it was like a forward. And what impressed me about him, he didn't play as a new lad coming into it, you know. He played as if he's always there, and he was encouraging players around him. And that's a great sign, you know, because normally, well, a lot of players, it takes them a while to get into the international setup. But I didn't see that in him at all. He had the confidence to get on the ball, to demand the ball, to defend well. So that's a real plus for us in the matches that we've just played, in my opinion, Nathan. Yeah, he looks a top-notch lad.
Shane Duffy was suspended for that away game against Ukraine, so Collins played in the centre of the back three. Do you see him making that position his own, or do you still see a future for Duffy in the centre of that Irish defence?
Oh, I would definitely see him playing in the team, Nathan. But you know, we're well served in the back five. Yep. You know, like Duffy come into Egan, we got Seamus Coleman when he's back fit. But I think his best partner would be Duffy.
Right.
You know, he's a player like in the old days, Nathan. More so, like I played say with Jack Charlton and Norman Hunter.
Yeah.
And then maybe Big Jack, with the ball was in the air, Jack could go for it, Norman would sweep up, as they say. And I think he'd be a great asset to Shane Duffy.
The pace that he has.
I think he'd make it easier for him.
Yeah.
Because he can really, really go full out, knowing that there's a player behind him that's going to sweep up. He can have confidence in him. And I can see that over the years, as long as Duffy can keep fit, as a really, really good partnership.
So you see...
And Egan's a good player.
Yeah.
You know, we're well served at the back, Nathan. I'm not so sure about Seamus Coleman at left back, to be honest. You know, he's a wing back. He's a winger.
That's a wing back, yeah.
I could well have him in the team as a winger. But, like, you have to defend, and a couple of goals that we did concede in those matches could well have been down to McLean. And I'm a great admirer of him, a great fan of his, because he gives us everything he's got. But I don't really like him in the left back position, because I know he's a wing back. But when you're in a full back position, you have to play as a full back. You have to be able to defend as a full back. But we have Seamus Coleman to come back in, you know. So we're well served with young Collins coming in, Duffy, Egan, a few other players, Seamus Coleman, and I think. But if you ask me the partnership, I think that can be a really, really good partnership.
Yeah, they complement each other well.
Duffy can go for everything in the air, and that's what used to happen over the years. You know, you remember even with England. I'm talking about England when they won the World Cup. You had Jack Charlton and Bobby Moore. You know, Jack was one of those to centre halves, and a few more like him. And still today, Duffy would be in that sort of category.
Wants to go and win everything.
Yeah, go for everything, because you know that if you don't win it, you got people behind you, or a player behind you that's going to sweep up around you. And I think young Collins can definitely do that. And showed coming forward for his goal, Nathan. He's not scared to get on the ball.
No.
And do what's needed to be done. In other words, it's a bonus, actually, when you have a centre-back like that who can come out, get on the ball, not give it away, in fact, use it very well, and now and again, like he did, score a goal. So, yeah, I'd have great hopes for him.
All our football on Off the Ball is brought to you by Sky. You can watch the Premier League, the Women's Super League, EFL, Scottish Premiership and much more live on Sky Sports. John, I wanted to ask you about Noel Campbell, who sadly passed away this week at the age of 72. He was your assistant manager at Shamrock Rovers. You would have played with him as well through the years. He's not a player I knew a huge amount about, but he played over in the Bundesliga, first Irish player to play in the Bundesliga. What are your memories of Noel Campbell? Well, very good memories. He was a very good player. He was a very, very good individual, good sense of humour, and most unusual career in terms of it. I think he was at Arsenal when he was a young kid. Actually, I played, first year we got promoted at Leeds, we played at Arsenal, and we won on the day. And we're in the dressing room, and there's always kids, you know, the young pros hanging
doing
around
the dressing room and that. And I heard his voice, And it was a young ginger kid. I said, "Are you a dub?" He said, "Yeah." It was Noel Campbell at the time. He was only about 15, and he started off with Arsenal. He didn't make it at Arsenal, and then I think he came back to Pats. And then most unusually for any Irish player, any English player in that matter, went to play in Germany and was very successful in Germany. So later on, I played with him in the international team. I think he got about 9 caps, didn't he?
11 caps in the end.
11, yeah. Well, I would have played. Yeah, I would have played in a good few matches. He was a very, very good player. No, he was a midfield player. Good control, good passing abilities, good attitude. Now he's a good lad and a good individual.
So did you play in the middle of midfield?
No, he played. I played in my matches with him. I played in the middle, and he played to the right hand side. He was mostly to the right hand side, I think.
Right. You were obviously quite close as well. That you appointed him as your assistant manager at Shamrock Rovers. Yeah,
he was. He came back to play. He played a few matches for Rovers, but he'd had very big problems with his knees, so he had to finish.
Right.
But he was my right hand man at Rovers for a while. Yeah, and he was good, really good lad. Yeah. Good sense of humour in that.
What was
very sad, to be honest, Nathan? You know.
What was the assistant manager dynamic like?
Well, you had to do the training. There was training to be done, obviously, and somebody to knock your ideas around. You know what I mean, Nathan? You need somebody that you can talk to, that you trust in terms of, football and ability and opinions.
Even now, we don't see Irish players really playing in the Bundesliga. To go there in 1971 and spend 7-8 years in Cologne and play over 200 times for the club is a hell of an achievement. I'd imagine it was a big surprise when people saw him popping up in the Bundesliga.
Oh, definitely. I don't think it's happened since. Not that I don't know of anybody, and certainly no Irishman before that played in the Bundesliga. It was most unusual. And he was very, very popular there. You know, he obviously played well. He was very popular there, but it was a most unusual career for any of the Irish lads, even now.
Yeah, sure is. Very sad news this week. Noel Campbell passed away at the age of 72. John, great to talk to you as always. We'll chat to you next Thursday. It's the summer. We'll come up with something to keep everyone entertained for the summer, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll make something up, Nathan.
As usual. All right, John, great stuff.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. Bye.
We'll talk to you then.
Bye.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. Get more of the sports you love on Sports Extra with BT Sport and Premier Sports.
News Talk Breakfast.
Could native predators like lynx and wolves be reintroduced to control invasive species here? Wildlife expert Ainani Launa gave us her view.
That's the whole problem. We're not bringing them back to the same country that they left. 1,300 years ago, there wasn't all of these cattle and sheep and grassland and population and cities and towns and cars. But there is now, so you're not bringing them back to the same place.
News Talk Breakfast with Ciara Kelly and Shane Coleman.
In association with AIR.
Weekday mornings at 7 on News Talk.
There's never been a better time to switch to Electric Ireland. We're offering all new customers a €170 welcome bonus with our 2-year deal. All you have to do is call 1800 30 50 90 or visit electricireland.ie. For your welcome bonus, switch to Electric Ireland today. Estimated annual bill €2,404. Electricity and gas discounted unit rate including standing charge, PSO levy and carbon tax. 24-month contract. T's and C's apply. See electricireland.ie.
You can do pretty much anything in just a few taps. Buy a